What's up, everyone? All right, well, today is going to be a red day recap. It's also a freezing cold day. It is ice cold outside. I mean, the coldest day of the year so far here in the Berkshires. It's even cold in my office. So I want to go over something real quick for you guys, though. The first thing is that I got a little bit of flack yesterday for my big green day. Some of you guys said, "Hey, Russ, I thought you were in rehab. What's the deal?" Well, let me break down my rules of rehab for you guys real quick. So here are the 3 rules. Number 1, in my Lightspeed account, I've got a max share size of 2,000 shares. And I followed every single one of those rules yesterday and today. Those rules are actually set on the admin side of Lightspeed. So even if I wanted to take 2,500 shares, I simply couldn't without calling them and getting them to lift that restriction, which they can only do through writing, and so then I'd have to put it in writing. So I really can't trade more than 2,000 shares. So that was the first rule. The second rule was that I would have a daily max loss of $1,000, which means that if I'm down more than 1,000, I can't take another trade. And that's the way the max loss is configured with Lightspeed and with a lot of brokers. It's not based on they're not going to close a position. If you're holding something and it's down 1,500, 2,000, 3,000, they're not going to close it for you. You have to close it. But once you close it, if you're down more than 1,000, you can't take any more trades. So I guess the rule is if I'm down more than 1,000, I'm done trading. It's not exactly a max loss because I could lose more as I did today, down 1,800, but it's a line in the sand that you can't keep trading if you're past it. So that's the second rule. The third rule is that if I have 3 consecutive losers, I am done for the day. Now, so far this month, I've broken the rule of 3 consecutive losers, and that is disappointing. And I also broke the rule of trading past my max loss, because on one of the days I actually did call them and I said, "Hey, can you lift my max loss so I can take one more trade?" And that was really a mistake, and I accepted that and was transparent about doing it, and that I was disappointed in myself for doing it. So yesterday and today, I've traded within this framework of rules. Now this is for the Lightspeed account, and yesterday my Lightspeed account was up about $3,000. Today it's down $1,800. So a nice green day yesterday and a red day today. My TD Ameritrade account has been exempt from the rules of Trader Rehab because I'm not trading in it every single day, and I'm really only trading in it as part of my product testing, which I have now finished. Yesterday, I had a great day, $6,000, and so that's going to cap off all of the live trading recordings and everything else that I needed to gather to do a really good review of TD Ameritrade. So yeah, I'll admit that in TD Ameritrade I was being more aggressive, and that a true rehab doesn't give you exemptions like I can drink, but only on the weekends or only with friends or stuff like that. So I would agree that if the goal really is to train for the month of December and trading with a small account, that the TD Ameritrade account is kind of disjointed from that mission. And so for that reason, for the rest of the month, I am just going to trade in my Lightspeed account because I hear that feedback that you guys are giving me, and I think there's some validity there. But at the same time, with the Lightspeed account, I was following all the rules yesterday and today. And today was really disappointing. So I'll break down the trades from today. I stopped out, and basically I had 2 red trades. Well, let me. I don't want to do the whole recap here. I want to give you guys a screen share. But basically what happened was I started the day with a red trade, then I had a green trade, made back the losses, then I had a break-even trade, then I had a small winner, and then I had 1 loss, second loss, and at that point I was down $800, and then I took a third trade, and I was down $1,800. So that trade that put me down $1,800 crossed 2 of my circuit breakers, being the 3rd loss in a row, and putting me down more than 1,000. And so after that, done for the day. And a little disappointed. I was up about $300 or $400 on NSYS, but it just didn't hold up super well. And part of that's because APD had sold off probably so much yesterday. So in any case, it is what it is. Enjoy the recap. If you do have questions, I appreciate the comments and the feedback. You guys are helping me, really, you're helping to hold me accountable and giving me feedback of things that you think, Russ, if you're really going to try to prepare for the small account challenge, you know, you should do it in a more serious way. So it's good feedback and I appreciate it. All right, so comments, questions, put them below. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel, and I'll see you guys first thing tomorrow morning. All right, so we're gonna go over the trades from today. Today's a day where I'm gonna close in the red, but I have followed all of my rules. I stopped after my third consecutive loser. Now, you can see I'm below my max loss of $1,000, and what that means is that now that I'm down more than 1,000, I can't take any more trades. So if I try to take a trade, if I try to buy this, it won't let me. It'll just say, what's the message? I'll just put it at whatever, 488. It says right here, cannot place any long opening order, can't place any new positions. So I'm done trading today, max loss. Now, the max loss crossing over that minus 1,000 and having my third consecutive loser happened on the same trade. So I already had 2 losses and I was down 800 on the day. And I got back in for one more trade on NSYS and lost 1,000 on it. And that put me at my third consecutive loser and then down more than 1,000. So I'm out. 2 strikes there. You know, both of those are kind of my circuit breaker thresholds for stopping. You know, and that's fine. That's, you know, and today I only trade with 2,000 shares, same as yesterday, following the rules here of Trader Rehab. I'm disappointed that NSYS didn't give better opportunities. And so let's kind of break it down. So this was on the watch list pre-market, gapping up 119%, 2.6 million share float, had about 400,000 shares of pre-market volume. So it met most of my criteria for being a stock worth watching. I, of course, was watching it over 650. Now, the bell rings and it immediately breaks 650 and squeezes up to 670. But I said, I'm gonna be calm, cool, and collected. I don't wanna jump in the first 5 seconds of the bell ringing because I just feel like that could get me into trouble. So I'm gonna give it a second. So it pops up to 70, it then pulls back. And as it's consolidating here, what am I doing? I'm typing my order to get in at 70. So that was 670. So I've got my order ready to go and all I have to do is click the buy button. Now I like to do that because it's a little bit faster than, at least I find it to be a little bit faster than kind of fumbling at the last minute, and my entry is gonna be more accurate than if I use a hotkey. If I use a hotkey, the problem there is that I might, if I press it at 670, I might get filled to 675 or even 690, depending on how quickly the stock breaks that level. So in any case, using the limit order there. So I'm in at 70, and right there we get that break up to 97. So I sell. Now on that trade, I only made, let's see. Let's see, where was this? Sorry, let me go back. My first trade was on this candle right here. So my first trade was a red trade. It was right here. I got in at 70. It didn't break that level, and I stopped out right down here at 65. So I stopped out like right here, and I lost 200 bucks, $293 on the first trade. And I was like, all right, that was a bummer. And then it comes back up and I'm like, okay, I'm getting back in. So I get back in right here at 70, it rips up, it hits a high of 697 and I take my profit. And on that, I made, I don't know, like 500 bucks. So I go from down 293 to up like 190 bucks or something like that. So those are my first trades, a loss and then a win. So now I'm like, okay, well, you know, I'm back in the green, that's good. And the stock is clearly showing strength. The high was 709. It then pulls back. As it curls up here, I jumped back in for the break of 709. It hits a high of 714. Doesn't really hold that level. I get back out, break even trade. Not a winner or a loser, just a break even trade. Then it curls back up here to 725. It pulls back and I get in right here for the break over 725. It hits a high of only 736. So I get out of that, but that was a small winner. So small winner there. So I'm like, all right, well, you know, loser, winner, break even, small winner. And then it drops down here to 680, bounces off the VWAP. And as it curls back up right here, the high was 716 of this level. And as it broke right here, I jumped back in. I got filled with a little bit of slippage. I use Shift 1 as my hotkey. I'm in at 724. It hits a high of 728, and I'm thinking it's going to break over 736 and rip up to 750. But it doesn't. It drops back down to the VWAP. I held it maybe a little longer than I should have. I was like, oh man, let's see, maybe this just needs to do a little micro pullback and then it'll rip over this level. And then right here it drops, and I stopped out at 75. So just like that, I lost $1,000. So that was my first loss that was my first good size loss on this stock. So now I went from being up, I don't know, 400 or whatever to down 400 or something like that. All right, so on this particular stock. All right, so that was my first loss. Then I see SLS hit the high day momentum scanner. You can see it right here. I pull up the chart, and I'll just pull it up here so I don't lose my place. So SLS, and I see it squeezing up. It pulls back for a second. I jumped in at 65. It hits a high of 88. I only took 1,000 shares, and I said if it breaks over 7, I'll add. It only hit 88. It drops back down, and I lost 6 cents per share with 1,000 shares. So I lost $58. All right, well, but officially, that's now my second consecutive loss, and I want to make it official. So that's now 2 losses in a row. I've only got 1 more trade. And at this point, I'm kind of like, all right, well, I've only got 1 more trade. I've got to be pretty, mindful about where I get in. And so I see NSYS rip back up here to 723. It then does a little pullback, and I got in. For the break of 723, I'm in with 2,000 shares, 725. It hits a high of 746. I was looking for it to break over the $0.50, and then it instantly dropped back down to 695. So I'm up 25 cents, and then I'm down 25 cents. And I was like, okay, whoa. Well, all right, let's see what this does. It pops up here to 725. I'm back to break even, and then it flushes right here, back down to 675. And just like that, I stopped out, and I lost another $1,000. So I lost 1,000 on this loss right here, and then 1,000 on the second one. 50 cents per share on both of these trades, which is such a bummer. I mean, I'm not going to fault myself for the setup really, because I think both of those were decent setups, and I think certainly yesterday on APDM those setups worked really well. So the first one here was first 1 minute candle to make a new high, which I anticipate would result in a break over 736. And the second one right here was a kind of an ABCD setup, not a perfect one, but a break over this flat top resistance level, anticipating with the entry at 25. Both of those decent quality setups. I mean, trading those types of setups yesterday did quite well, and then look what happened on this. So you know what? Thank goodness I set my stop where I did. It drops back down to the VWAP. I take the loss, all right? Then I'm sitting here, and all of a sudden, it drops. It breaks the low here of 670, and it drops to 650, 640, 630, 620, $6. And I'm like, geez, this thing is really dropping. Oh my gosh, it goes all the way down to a low of 483. I mean, that was the cleanest move of the day on this one was to the sell side. Without a doubt. I mean, it just was, it was just a bloodbath. And so unfortunately, this stock got me. I'm glad that I wasn't holding that 2,000 share position through this drop, but these were my trades. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 trades. And of those 6 trades, I had really only a couple winners. So anyways, that's it for me. Going to follow the rules, and I'll be back at it first thing tomorrow morning. Hey, did you know every morning I go live to stream my pre-market watch list? Subscribe to the channel, press the alert button, and you'll get the notifications. And if you want to learn more about trading, check out the links in the description. And if you have questions, post them in the comments because I personally respond to every comment posted on my channel.